Alright, sorry about that. Let's try this again. Sounds like we got sound this time. Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of the train station. As always, I am your host, A Train, back with yet another episode. Today, as you could probably tell by the title, we're going to have a little bit of fun. I like doing these year end reviews just because, I'm curious how I spend my time. So I've done one for Spotify. We've seen what I listen to. I did one for Twitch. We saw who I watch. And now it's time to do a PlayStation review to see what I play and how much I play. So it's gonna be kind of crazy. Let's go ahead and just get right into it. So I start off by playing 1,262 hours I spent on my PlayStation hooked up to that TV. Don't know if that's a good thing, bad thing, sad thing. I don't get paid to play video games. So I play completely for free for fun in my free time. Uh, Apparently, this last year I had a lot of free time available. So, as we continue, hours breakdown. Uh, It says I played locally 1,117 hours and I played online for 145 for a total of 306 days. Now, the hours played online at 145, I don't agree with, and when you guys see later on, you'll see why. But I think I should have more hours into the hours played online and less played into the local. But I don't understand how the hours break down. But yeah, that's how my hours break down. Apparently, obviously, I play a lot more offline than online, but I don't agree with only having 145 hours played online. Uh, in 2021, I played 45 games. I don't know if that's the same games, different games that I've never played before, but I played a total of 45 games, most of those being free from the PlayStation Pass or PlayStation Plus membership, or just being free on the PlayStation Store all in general. So yeah, that's that. And before we go any further, I don't want to spoil the number one game right off the bat. So I'm going to pull up the rest of them first before, and then we can go ahead and get into it. All right. So number five, it's a bit of a surprise to me. Um, NHL 21 at 77 hours. Honestly, I'm not a hockey fan at all. I don't understand the rules. I don't understand the way hockey is. I To me hockey is boring. It's kind of like baseball. I just don't understand it at all. But the games here and there are fun to play. When I do play NHL games, I turn all the rules off because I simply don't understand the hockey rules and I don't play the game enough to want to understand how to play hockey. So I just turn the rules off and go around and hit people, and it's probably why I lose all the time. But their career mode is fun with the ability to create a team. You can make your own team, build it the way you want, and kind of go from there. And I always have liked that function in video games to be able to create your own team because it just feels more authentic that you're building it the way you would if you were a GM. So it's just kind of the way that, I enjoy seeing things run. But overall, I'm not a hockey fan, so the fact that it's even number five on the list is very shocking to me. Number four, as you can see up here, FIFA 21 Standard Edition at 86 hours. I've constantly praised how well EA does with the FIFA series. It continues to be the best sports game that EA puts out year in and year out. That's no different with FIFA 21. I expected it to be a little bit higher. FIFA, outside of my number one, which we'll get to in a minute, is probably my go to game all the time. So the fact that it's not higher on the list is very shocking. I believe it should replace Madden at number 2, which I will get into. But the fact that it's number 4 and that low is surprising to me. But FIFA 21 is a good game. FIFA 22, however, much better. I expect that to be on this year coming up. I expect that to be on the list of this year coming up. FIFA 22 added the ability that NHL and NBA 2K already had, which was the ability to finally create your own team. FIFA is a little different because you have hundreds of teams to pick from to get off the get go. So the fact that they added create a team is very interesting. It doesn't quite work like the rest of the teams, like the rest of the creative teams, but it still has its own way of working, and I really liked the fact that I could finally, create my own team for once and not have to use Manchester United or New England Revolution or AC Milan. I don't have to use the same teams all the time. I can finally create my own, start them off terrible or start them off really, really good, and go from there. So I really like the feature that FIFA 22 added. It really just continues to be the dominant game in the series. In my opinion, at least, I know everybody's going to have their own opinion, but in my opinion, FIFA, even this year, continues to be a EA best sports game. Coming in at number 3, no surprise, WWE 2K19. I say no surprise because, yes, there is WWE 2K20, but the game was terrible. The game was broken. WWE 2K20, blue screens all the time, constant glitches, constant lag, constant kicks you out of the game in the middle of a match. There was just so many bugs with the game, and they sent out a game that was unfinished, and then by the time they tried to fix it, there were still too many bugs to overcome. WWE 2K20 was an absolute nightmare. So WWE 2K18, which released in 2018, longevity wise, shout out to it because 2K realized they screwed up with WWE 2K20. They kept the servers running in 2K19, which kept people going back to it because we were so hungry and starved for a wrestling game that they kept the servers alive. They messed up so bad with WWE 2K20. They actually took a break. They took a whole year off. They took a whole 2 years off. 2K21 was not in development. They completely took time off to revamp the game. WWE 2K20 out on the way. I will get more into that in just a moment. But WWE 2K19, not the greatest wrestling game out there, but when it's really your only option to have, you're gonna play it. I'm thankful they kept the servers up because it definitely kept me going through a lot of it. I've always enjoyed wrestling games, and more so not the wrestling game itself, but more so the creative aspect of the wrestling games. And if you'll notice a lot, I say create, like create a team, create a player. I like the creation aspect of the video games, especially in sports games and wrestling games, where you have a lot more leeway in wrestling games than hockey and soccer and football. You have the ability to pretty much create any kind of character that you want, whether that's a celebrity, a superhero, yourself, or if you have some crazy idea for a gimmick that you want to implement into the game. The creation suite is always there in WWE 2K19. I think that's where majority of that 113 hours came from. I always spend a lot of time just trying to create different ideas. Oh, I have an idea for this guy. Let me, create it and see how it works and give him a move set and all that. As I said, they didn't come out with a WWE 2K21 because 2K20 was such a flop. They decided to take more time and extra precaution with the game. So in March of this year, about a month away, we're about a month and 4 days away from the launch of WWE 2K22. Cover athlete Rey Mysterio. Showcase mode is going to be Rey Mysterio. I didn't learn my lesson from the last 3 games, 2K19 or 2K20, which was a complete disaster. I went ahead and pre-ordered the NWO Legend Edition version of WWE 2K22. partially in reason because I'm so starved for a new wrestling game. Because WWE 2K19 is the latest installment of the game. I've been so missing out on the need for a new wrestling game because, they don't do live roster updates. WWE 2K19 is so outdated, but it's really all you got. So you take what you can get. So WWE 2K22 is coming out. I would assume it takes my number one spot next year on the list, but if not number one, due to the current game at number one, which I think will hold its spot, then I expect it to be right in that number two spot where Madden is now. They bring back, for the first time since SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, they bring back GM mode, which has been highly requested, by myself included, but highly requested by the fan base, to finally bring back GM mode. If any of you played SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 or 2008, which features ECW, you guys know GM mode is the best mode. You get on there, you pick a brand, Raw, SmackDown, or in 2008's case, Raw, SmackDown, or ECW. You pick from the roster of talent, and you try and create the best show possible. So now that that's coming back in WWE 2K22, especially with the way the roster is now compared to 2008, which held one of the smallest rosters in the game, you're talking 2K22 is going to have a ginormous roster. You can pick Raw, SmackDown, or NXT, which is going to be very exciting. And yeah, you're going to just be able to battle for brand supremacy and see who can run the better show. They did add an online GM mode as well, which is going to add more intrigue to the game. That alone is probably why I pre-ordered the game off GM mode itself. So even if the game ends up being a total flop, I have GM mode, so I won't have to play any of the matches and worry about it. But expectations are absolutely high for this game. You've had 2 years to figure it out. Now more than ever is the time. And, we're just going to have to wait till March. I'm honestly super excited for it. I've never been this excited for a wrestling game. Every year it's just like, another wrestling game, create my dude, get into it. But this year I'm honestly so excited, and it's because we haven't had one in so long. But WWE 2K19 comes in at 113 hours. The number 2 game on the list, Madden 21, at 182 hours. I'm honestly shocked that it's number 2 on the list. I didn't really think I spent that much time playing Madden. If you guys have followed me for a while, you guys have known I've done a video on the Madden franchise and how terrible it's become. I have Madden 22 as well. I did not pay for it, but I have Madden 22 as well. I've spent no time playing it. I just do not enjoy the Madden series anymore. Until, they fix it, or until the new NCAA football comes out, which is rumored to come out next year in 2023. Madden's just slowly going to fade away. And if NCAA football is supposed to be the success that we expect it to be, Madden's done for. And it's not going to be around because Madden's just terrible now. And if NCAA football comes out and ends up overtaking Madden, then they're going to really have to, think that about what they're doing in the direction of the franchise is going. We've always asked for I have dived into Madden 22 a little bit, and we asked for a fix in season mode, but they've done too much and they made it too complicated. They oversaturated a mode that didn't need too much oversaturation. Madden 21, however, is a decent installment of the game of franchise, I guess you could say. But it just seems like they've gotten super duper lazy with it. And so yeah, I'm actually shocked that it's number 2 on the list. And finally, the number 1 game on the list, in my opinion, the best battle royale game out there, my personal favorite video game at the moment, Apex Legends at 394 hours. That's a lot of gameplay. And which is why I said my 145 hours of online play makes absolutely no sense. Apex Legends is a battle royale, kind of like Fortnite and PUBG, in that realm. but much better for me. I don't like if I shoot somebody, they can build a 5-star hotel. That's why I don't play Fortnite. That's why I despise Fortnite. I shouldn't have to shoot you and you build, whatever. The building's just gone crazy. Apex has, brought uniqueness where in Fortnite, all the characters are the same. They might change the skin. PUBG the same way. All of the characters are the same. Warzone the exact same way. All the characters are the same. Apex Legends brings something different. Apex Legends has, I believe, 13 playable characters now. All of them do something different. You have Lifeline, that's a healer. You have Fuse that chucks bombs and grenades at people. You have, and that photo, this is old because the new season just dropped. This is from Season 11, Ashe. She does something different from, Lifeline and Fuse, and Octane runs around fast. Each character has something different, and that's what really makes Apex unique and stand out above the rest. As far as Apex being my favorite game, it's a bit of a surprise because I'm not really into gun games and I'm not really into battle royals. Those really aren't my thing. Sports, as always, have kind of been my forte, but I think it's just the uniqueness of Apex that I like so much about it, and I'm going to continue to play. And like I said, if WWE isn't the number one spot in 2022, then Apex will continue to reign supreme this year. I think it will reign supreme because it's free to play, and all of my friends play it as well, which is, I think, also what kind of gravitated me towards it. Apex, online only game. There is no offline mode in Apex. So if I played 394 hours of Apex as an online mode, you mean to tell me I've only played 145 hours online, but my number one game played is 394, almost double that of what they said I had online? It's almost double that. So I don't understand the logic behind the PlayStation wrap-up, how they determine how many hours you played online or not. Because I played 394 plus hours online. I played hours online on Madden. I played hours online on 2K19. It's like I've played online on all these games. I played some sort of online. And that alone, Apex, with no offline mode, that alone should have increased that 145 hours online play. So I don't understand the logic there that that PlayStation has with the amount that you've played offline compared to online. Like I said, that's why I don't understand it. But 394 hours of Apex Legends, it's supreme. It's reign supreme. It should continue to reign supreme. If you haven't played, I highly suggest downloading it on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, even Switch. Even though I've played it on Switch. The Switch port isn't great, but if you have an Xbox, a PlayStation, a PC, highly recommend downloading Apex Legends. It's free to play. Season 12 just dropped a couple days ago, which is kind of why I'm late giving you guys this video, because I have been grinding Season 12. New character Mad Maggie out. New game mode Control, which is kind of like if you've ever played COD or anything similar to COD. It's kind of like COD being Call of Duty. New mode in that. So Season 12 has a new mode, new legend. Olympus is back for those that have really liked playing Olympus in past seasons. I'm not a fan of Olympus, but Olympus is back. New game mode. Arenas is still around. Trios and duos is still around. So I highly suggest you go and download it. Free to play. If you do download it, let me know. Drop it in the comments. And I'll add you. We could play together. We could run some games. I'm almost always on Apex. I have people that are also always playing Apex. So yeah, I don't understand the gap there between 394 and 145. I don't get paid to figure that out, but that is my top 5 list. Comment down below. If you're not in the comment section now, go ahead and comment on YouTube when this is posted later. That what games you play, what your top 5 list was, what your favorite game is, or what your gamer tag is, and I will make sure to add you. And that's all for this episode. Make sure to follow the link down here. That's got my Twitter, my Instagram, the YouTube, all of that down there. Make sure to go ahead and check that out. Apex, Madden, WWE, FIFA, NHL is my top 5 for this year. I briefly spoke on what I expect to be my top next year. If you guys have any game suggestions for me that you want me to check out, I'm open to pretty much anything. I love story games. I love online games, sports games, obviously. MMOs, RPGs, anything. I will play almost anything. Hit me down in the comment section below what you want me to play, what games you're playing, and you think I would like to try out, and all of that. And I will catch you guys in the next episode. I might even get on here on Sunday. I'm still debating. Maybe do like a Super Bowl watch party, live reaction type thing. But I will let you guys know on social media, so make sure you guys follow them. And I will, once again, catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.